There's a lot of videos out there about how to train your fish to do tricks, but I find that like there's very few videos that start from like absolute zero. They always seem to be working with a fish that's already been trained. So I'm going to teach you how to train your fish over a series of videos starting from a fish that knows absolutely zero tricks. And so that way you can get an idea of how it works from beginning to end, rather than just seeing a fish that already knows how to respond to the cues that you're trying to teach it. So if you're stuck at home and you need something to do, why don't you try to train your fish? It's fun, it's cute, and it gets their little fishy brains going a little bit. It gives them something to think about. I find that like fish in tanks need a lot of mental stimulation, and as I keep mainly bettas that are solitary fish, they don't have a whole lot of other fish to interact with. All they basically have to interact with is you and their surroundings. So we're going to train my bettas to do a trick, and the most simple trick you can kind of teach them to do is jump through a hoop. Now I'm just going to say off the top of, like from the very beginning, if you are training a betta to jump, you need to be very, very careful, because it is a behavior that they will do to get treats. You need to make sure your lid is tight, you need to tape over any gaps. Okay, so this is Mathias and his tank. You've already met him. He is a very food motivated fish, and I'm finding him the easiest to train. This is the hoop we're going to use. It's just a simple wire, gosh, you can't even really see that. It's just a simple wire hoop. There are a couple of materials you're going to need. The first one is this. It's a pen light. I bought it off Amazon. It was very cheap, so he sees it. He's getting excited already. And you need to start by teaching them that this light means they did a good behavior and they're going to get food. Okay, so here's Mathias. Come on, here we go. And he's built a little bubble next. Oh, sorry, baby. Did I bonk you in the face? There we go. So he already knows his food comes from this stick. Every time he hits the stick, so every time he pokes it with his face, come on, baby. Come on, here we go. Just a little farther. It's over here. You can do it. It's over here. Here we go. Here we go. So every time he pokes a stick, he gets the light, and then he gets the food. So that routine of associating the light with the food, it takes a couple of feedings, especially since like bettas have these stomachs, and if you feed them too much, they get pressed up against their swim bladder. So you never want to overfeed a betta during a training session. So you can only reinforce the stick with about I say with about 8 brine shrimp is the most you want to feed them. Mathias is really chunky. He's a very, very chunky fish, so Mathias gets a little bit more food because he's large. But I would say about 8 brine shrimp, or maybe 6 pellets per day. So I use brine shrimp because I have them. You can also use pellets. You can use freeze-dried bloodworms. Anything that is in your fish's diet can be associated with this food cue. Now I use a stick. You can use your finger. Just because I own a lot of fish, I like to use the stick because it's less transfer of like things from different tanks. So that's how you begin to establish associating light stick food, and that is the kind of chain that you want it to go in. So he does the appropriate behavior, which is biting the stick, then he gets the light, you did a good job, you put the stick, and then he gets the food. So this creates like a kind of positive feedback in his brain. Okay, so now we're going to begin to associate the trick he's never tried before. And that trick is the hoop. So this is our little wire hoop. And we're just gonna, oh, I don't have enough hands for this. Okay. So we're just gonna put the hoop all the way in the water. So he's never seen this before. He doesn't know what it is. And then we're going to place the stick near the hoop. Hi, buddy. There's your stick. Come on. And in the beginning, you need to lead them. Hi, buddy. You need to kind of lead them through. You know what? I'm just gonna try it like this. Alright. Here we go. Here's your stick. Close. You gotta go through the hoop. Come on. Sorry, that's my phone. Come on. Yeah, this is new. Yeah. Oh, good boy. You did it. And it's gonna try to be really speedy with the reward. Okay, so here we go. We are introducing the new hoop. Come on. Hi, buddy. Yeah. See your stick? See your stick? It's right here. Good boy. And then food. Alright, so we did it the first time. That's good. Now we're going for round 2 of the behavior. Sorry, I don't want my metal alert bracelet to freak him out. So, hi! Mathias, here's your stick. Yeah. Oh, good boy. There's your brine shrimp. So, you'll notice they start getting the behavior very quickly. So now I'm going to try holding the stick. Come here. Or holding the hoop. Just a little higher out of the water than is comfortable for him to go over easily. Come on. Back to the stick. And he's going to try to go around it. It's pretty normal for them to try to go around it. You just got to keep moving it. Come on. You can do it. Oh, you can do it. You can do it. Oh, good boy. And snack. Where'd your snack go? There it is. Okay. Come on. Come on, Mathias. You can do it. There we go. Here's your stick. Oh yeah, you're gonna try to go around it, aren't you? Oh, now it's over here. It's back here. Come on, baby. You can do it. I know. Oh, you can do it. Oh, this is pretty normal. They have some trouble figuring out. Oops. Well, there we go. I've got one more brine shrimp on the stick. They have some trouble figuring out, and they're smart, you know, they try to go around it, between it, beside it. But eventually, they will go through it. Oh, come on, baby, so close. And sometimes you just have to keep putting it back in their way. The idea is that these are skills that your fish will slowly develop over time. So you never want to like overwhelm them with training in a day. I'd say like the maximum times I try to introduce a new trick is maybe 4 times in a day. So we just did 3. And it's normal for your beta to take a little while to catch on, or any fish. Some people train cichlids. Like, as you saw, they'll go around the hoop, between it, under it. It takes them a little while to figure out that the behavior you want them to do is to go through it. And especially when you start raising it out of the water to a point where it's kind of uncomfortable for them. Or not uncomfortable, but just different for them. So the goal is to slowly build on these skills little by little every day, or as often as you can, and pretty soon you will have a beta that can do all sorts of things. So we're going to wrap up his training session for today. So that was about 3 times through the hoop. Like I said, these are just skills that your fish needs to build on. It's like introducing math problems. Do you want to give them a worksheet, or do you want to give them the whole textbook? Like, which is going to help them develop skills most easily and get results the fastest.